Alright guys, it's finally time to put everything we've learned to the test. We're going to start using those fundamentals we learned with posture, grip, setup, marking time, and most importantly, sound and rhythmic quality to a real world exercise. Now, I use this exercise a ton when I'm trying to develop the consistency in my rudiments. We're going to be testing a number of rudiments, but there's one rudiment that's played the entire time no matter what variation you're playing. And those are flam accents. Now, if you're not familiar with flam accents, all they really are accented triplets with flams on the downbeat of each. Knowing that it is our foundational rudiment in triplet form, we're going to be playing 8 bars of this. We're going to be playing 8 bars of flam accent, and that is going to be the foundation on which we build our rudimental library on. Now I'm going to demonstrate each one of these rudiments before we get into the playing video of it, and then quickly break down each hand to show you exactly what you're playing on each hand. That way you can get out of that roadblock in your head of not being able to play something because you don't really understand how it works. This way you understand both sides of the building block, and then you can build on top of that when you put it together. Now, like I said, flam accents are just accented triplets with flams on the downbeats. I'm gonna quickly break it down hand to hand, where I'm gonna omit one of the hands so you can see what the other hand is doing. So let's check out the right hand. Really groovy. I love flam accents. That's all you're playing on the right hand. It's just a simple pattern. On the left hand side of things, we got this. Equally as groovy, just offset a little bit. And that's it. That's what you're going to be playing for 8 bars straight. Now, we're going to try all of these variations at 132 because it's a nice, comfy tempo. But if you're struggling with 132, feel free to turn it down to 120 or even 100 or even 90. Keep going until you can play this perfectly, and then bump it 2 or 3 clicks until you can get it to the tempo you want to get it to. Alright, now that we understand the foundation, I'm going to use a simple rudiment to implement so we can understand how the exercise works. To do that, we're going to start with paradiddles. Now, generally, paradiddles are a really popular rudiment, so it should be easy for you to just understand where they go. You're going to be playing paradiddles on beats 3 and 4 of the first and second bar, and then the entire bar for the 4th bar. And then all you're going to do with that is repeat it again. So again, really quickly, we have 2 bars where it's half flam accent, half paradiddles, right paradiddle, left paradiddle. Then we have the 3rd bar, which is going to be a whole bar of flam accent. And then the 4th bar is a whole bar of whatever rudiment you're practicing, which in this case is paradiddles. So if I'm playing the first half, we have, right? And then the 3rd bar is all flam accent. And then the 4th bar is just a bar of paradiddles. And then you do all of that twice. So now I'm going to pull up the playing video so you can play along at 132. A quick tip, if you notice in the music, is that you don't play a flam coming out of the paradiddles. It would be way too hard to try to implement that, and we're just using this to build our rudimental library, so it's not a big deal. Just don't play the flam there. Also, it's really hard. If you can, kudos to you. Alright, now that we have a grasp at understanding how the exercise works, we can start playing with other rudiments. Next up, we have flam taps, one of my personal favorites. In this case, the flam taps are going to be tripletized to fit within the context of what we're already doing. For reference, tripletized flam taps sound a little bit like this. Now, when we break it down on the right-hand side, you get this. These sound a lot like 3s, and I feel like we've already done that at some point. Interesting. Now that you understand what both hands are playing, we're going to put it into context. Before you put it into context, though, realize that when you're playing those on beats 3 and 4, you're going to end up off the left for bars 2 and bars 6. So when you go, you end on the left. From there, you play the second bar off the left in the same way, and then the rest continues to be off the right. You can tell in the music, but I'm just giving you a heads up so you understand. Alright, now that we're done with those, we're gonna move on to paradiddle diddles. Now we just did paradiddles on the downbeat earlier in the video, so we're gonna do the same thing with paradiddle diddles. Which means because there are more notes, they're gonna be more condensed and they're gonna be faster. They're gonna be 6 tuplets. So they're gonna be moving. The playing video is at 132, so it's gonna be around here. Now if I break up the right hand, it's just a nice downstroke with a relaxed double on the bottom end. Now what is my left hand doing? Groovy too, just lower the whole time. Now we're gonna move on to one of my personal favorites, which is the pa-da-da. Now a pa-da-da is literally what it sounds like. Pa-da-da, which if you didn't get the gist of, is just an accented, which if you're normal, you didn't understand, but it's an accented note with 2 inner beats. Now this can be played in any rhythmic context, but for this, we're gonna be playing it in a 9-lit context. 9-lits at 132 feel really good, so a pa-da-da is gonna sound right around here. Now, if we break it down, we got... all your right hand is doing is playing quarter note triplets, and it's nice and legato the whole time, where you get nice, weighty strokes. Now, what are we getting on the left hand? Just relaxed doubles, where you're turning your wrist and keeping it nice and smooth. Relaxed doubles again. I feel like we've learned this already. Moving backwards in a rhythmic sense, we have Swiss Army triplets. So in this exercise, they're gonna go like this. If we split it up, on the right hand, we got... nice, relaxed, weighty doubles. On the left, we got... nice and relaxed, weighty doubles, just softer. Really fun to play too because it fits within the context of the whole tripletized exercise. Now last, but certainly not least, is my absolute favorite, triplet rolls. If we're breaking down this rudiment, you'll notice something really familiar with something we've already played. So 132 is going to be right around here. And what I get on the right hand is... something we've already played earlier in our triplet roll exercise. On our left, I'm sure you can already guess. Now just put both together with nice smooth quality and then put it into the exercise. Alright guys, this wraps up our basic rudiment lesson. Now I really encourage you to take this slower if you can't handle it at 132, and make sure you're building up the right way, just like the rest of the curriculum. If you keep chopping out just to try to get through it, it is not going to be of the quality you want, and you're going to be actually taking steps backwards instead of forwards. You're gonna have to break bad habits later that you're gonna learn now if you don't practice this well. And I encourage you to go out and find more rudiments to place in this. This is just a starter list that I put together for rudiments you wanna know whenever you go audition somewhere, or maybe you're auditioning for your high school line. This will impress the heck out of them. If somebody showed up to my high school audition playing through this, I would instantly put them on the line because it shows great fundamental understanding and a great drive to get better at snare drum. Now to reiterate, you should be doing all of these with your feet. That's why I placed the feet in the video so you can follow along with your feet and your hands. It is super vital you do this, and I will be putting this clip in both videos to remind you. Play the earth drum in time and your hands will surely follow. Hands to the feet, feet to the beat.